The Maritime Challenge 2021 is on. If you want to win over $1,000, if you want to show the world your talent and everything that you can do behind the scenes, go to our website cti-usa.com and submit, register with us, send to us your video. Also, the link below here, you can register through that link. So I'm excited and we are excited to see your talent, and you can share your talent to the world. That's it.
Good morning, one and all, and welcome to Friday's show. How are you, Eduardo?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Church. Good evening to all you guys in Asia. You're welcome to our town hall. One more Friday. Lots of good news. As we are talking to you guys, also invite you guys to subscribe in our channel. Also register in our Maritime Challenge 2021. Over $4,000
in cash and prizes,
iPhones, laptops, so airline tickets. You want the money or you want the prize, so you decide. But before you do that, you have to go to our website cti-usa.com and register. Make your video, cooking, dancing, having your family watching you doing something different, like any skill that you might have. Make a video on that and then send to us. Today we have lots of news, Mr. Church.
Oh, so much news. I'm telling you, it's been the last couple days. It's been a flurry of news, and we have it for you this morning. For those in the USA, of course, we're talking about the CDC, and actually it affects everybody, not just the USA. It affects everyone, and especially all those crew members out there. We'd like to say welcome, regardless of what cruise line you're from. We're very happy to have you here, and you may not be from a cruise line. You can be oiler, tanker, fishing boat, whatever. If you're a seafarer, we're really happy to have you here. Now, lots of news going on about Carnival, Apollo, Virgin Voyages, and Virgin Voyages. We have a special presentation coming up a little bit later. Virgin Voyages now hiring.
Wow, that's a violent lady?
Violent
lady, yes.
Right. And so, guys, pay attention. We've got a couple things coming up in the middle of the show, so don't go away. And also at the end of the show, we're going to talk about the CDC, the new regulations. And this is amazing. This is what everybody in the U.S. has been excited about for the last couple days. Now, we're also going to look back at the CDC and how it affected us, and some things that, we'll give our own opinions on it, but those are our own opinions, right? There are no cruise line opinions. There's CTI opinions, actually myself and Eduardo. So be sure and wait till the end. Lots of great information coming there. Now, before we begin, there's something that, put it this way, exciting news ahead. So let's go ahead and get into our breaking news. Let's do that right now. All right, we had Christine Duffy, who actually went to one of the ships. It's the first time she's been there in a year. The crew were very excited to see her. Lots of pictures. The captain, the hotel manager, all the directors on board, and even those crew who are in maintenance level at the moment. They were also there to say hi and take pictures with Christine.
Oh, that's great. Of course, she's the face also, right?
Oh, yes,
she's not only the hard work behind the scenes, but she also the face, and we can see every time when we post a video, when she speaks, when she brings something, lots of views, because people wanted to hear her, people wanted to get the information from her. Everything is coming through her, right?
I love this lady, and she's been in the travel business all her life. And one day we'll do a story on her, because it's very, very interesting, right? She went to be, from the information we've gathered, she went to be a stewardess on an airline, and they said she was too short. Can you imagine? Christine, maybe you can call us and tell if that's true, but I sure hope not. But anyway, maybe it was the best thing that ever happened, because now she's president of Carnival Cruise Line.
Yeah, what a I don't know how to measure that, but it's a big change.
We've been talking about the CDC, and as I say, we have some, we're going to take a look back at the past, and, there's a lot of information going on out there, and people have been pro and cons of the CDC, and we have a map we're going to show of, CDC rules and regulations. Some of those are where the states are still closed. They have mandatory shutdowns. For example, here in Florida, we don't have that issue, right?
Yeah, it's it's kind of open since October.
Right, right. And here we have the, how do I say this, the pleasure or the opportunity, or maybe we're just more lucky than anyone else, but bars, restaurants, everything is open.
Yeah, for us, we've been, I don't know if I can use this word, blessed, but we're mostly living our life kind of normal since October. We know that all the states in the United States has a lockdown for a long period of time. Like, for example, New York, we can use New York as example.
We're going to show the map on the screen here and have a look at this map, right? This was just from a couple days ago.
Yeah, today we can see that the gray area, it's the area that mask is not like 100% mandatory, like you use if you want, if you feel like. And
well, I think a lot of it depends on the county, right? For example, here in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, you're supposed to wear a mask. Right? Mm-hmm. Do people do it all the time? Well, that's another story, but the requirement is, right?
Yes. But even though, like, the reason why we are trying to do this is because, of course, as the cruise line get back to normal, it's going to be a lot of limitation for them. The same way that when the bars and restaurant was reopening slowly, they came with a lot of limitation. Like the capacity was only 50%. They was using like a kind of glass between one table and the other. Some bars that they couldn't have that equipment, they was using one table was empty, and then you could sit in another table, like having the 2 meters distance. Right. So all that kind of procedure was taking place right in the beginning in October.
I remember that. Yeah,
in October, and everybody was kind of follow. Everybody was happy because after 4 or 5 months at home, no matter what restriction they give to us, you're gonna be happy to go out and then have your dinner, have your time with your family. But today is completely different, right?
Absolutely.
Today is kind of 100% open. We have we can show you guys, like in the beginning, people was going to pay the bill. They were using Apple Pay. They're using like touchless, all that kind of technology is going to do
Stay
this.
Behind the glass.
Yeah, let's kind of avoid the contact. Today you give people your card. They hold your card. They come back. They give you money. Like
it was before.
Human beings, they are human beings, right? They're going to get in touch. They're going to give hugs. We can kind of watch ourselves for a while, but long term, I don't think that this is going to succeed because our behavior, the way that we're born, the way that we were, right? This is human being. They have to contact. They have to connect. And of course, for you guys, a crew member, you might go back to the ship and you might see the gym. Oh, the gym is not available, but not available for right now.
It'll open up. It'll open up.
So, the crew bar might not be available. Oh, not for now, but maybe going forward. So that's why we want to show the difference. It's a big event. I don't know if you know, Mr. Ch, a big event was happening in Texas, the baseball event. And believe it or not, the stadium was packed. Right?
38,238 people to be exact.
It's like unbelievable. I watch soccer, I see finals of Champions League, finals of like major tournaments around the world, and they are doing everything empty to avoid COVID. But at Texas, just a normal game. Well, the stadium was packed.
Florida.
People right behind the other one, like unbelievable.
It's funny. I read an article about that, and of course the request when you came into the game was to keep your mask on, and of course except when you're eating or drinking. Now, you've been to a soccer game where all you do is eat and drink the whole thing, right? And you cheer and you get happy. And so no one's sitting there in between every sip putting their mask on.
Yeah, right? Actually, the mask was required. People they gave the ticket and then a walk with the face mask. But after they have the seat, everybody removed.
It's like going into a restaurant or a bar. When you meet the receptionist, you got to have your mask on, and the moment you walk past the receptionist, mask comes off. Right?
The other day, I don't have this video right now, but I can illustrate that for you. Someone was making a joke with COVID. Like someone was pay attention. Someone was walking to the restaurant, and that person has the mask, and the COVID cartoon was right to watch. Oh, if you remove your mask, I can catch you. But if you have a seat, I'm not allowed to catch you. So I don't think that COVID has that brain
rules
to
and
say,
regulations, right?
If you stand and you have your mask, I cannot touch you. But if you remove your mask, I can catch. So it doesn't matter. Everybody, when they have a seat, they remove mask and they talk more. Usually, the virus go when we talk. As we talk here, whatever I have, it goes in the air. So like little particulars of things.
Absolutely. Little particles flying everywhere.
So we have to keep believing the scientists. They're going to find a better solution. We know that some countries are struggling a lot, like India right now.
Oh, yeah. So let's say a blessing to those in India. You know, there's a lot of crew members from India, so we hope that things really get better there. God bless you and your country. Stay safe over there, because there are many, many crew members who work on ships in India. So a big shout out to those guys.
Yeah, what happened is I just came from Brazil, and this variant that the people are talking is the mutation of the virus. Of course, as long as the virus taken one place and nothing is done, the virus just start to build, become more stronger. The virus gets stronger. And maybe, we don't know yet, but people are talking about that the current vaccine might not really work 100% in India, and they have to develop another vaccine.
Really?
Yeah, they are talking, they kind of talk, because that's the variant is, like, this vaccine is not going to work right now. The virus has so many mutations that it's different. This vaccine is not going to be 100% as for other people who took the action initially.
You know, India produces, I think, the most vaccines in the world.
And I don't know why people was not taking vaccine there.
Yeah. Well, the infrastructure in India is a lot different than a lot of countries. So I think their biggest thing is oxygen. From what I've been hearing, they can't get oxygen. Right?
Same thing as Brazil. Same thing as Brazil. Yeah, you know, and sometimes we have to be careful with news, and even for us to take the news, search about the news, and then come here and then tell you guys, because of course today media, they want create that like
drama.
Yeah. They want to find a title that is going to sell a lot of clicks, a lot of views, a lot of likes. But in reality, sometimes I feel they want to scare people. They want to make people feel afraid and like, oh my God, the world is. I was in Brazil. The situation there is not good, but come on, it's not like the end of the world. Like, I know a lot of people is losing people who they love, but let's put numbers together, right? I'll go back to that thing. 320,000 people in the United States. How many people, is that? Like, United States has a capacity to provide oxygen for people who go to ventilators. Some countries, they don't, like Brazil is struggling about that. Now India is struggling too. We have to be blessed. If you have the possibility to take the vaccine, so do it. For example, I was having a live this week with the guys from OTC, and by the way, big shout out to everybody in OTC is watching us all the time. And I was telling them how blessed they are, even the students. The students already took the vaccine. And they are ready to, the students already took the vaccine because OTC has the preparation to send them abroad, to send them to Taiwan, to Dubai, to other countries, which is also is going to receive them if they have taken the vaccine. When India, on the other hand, many crew members that work for Carnival Royal, they haven't that possibility yet. And
I hear they're setting that aside, though, like in Bali, they're setting vaccines aside for the crew members. And
this might affect the assignment going forward, at least for this time right now. So that's why I'm saying you guys are very blessed. I saw the movement that was made in Indonesia to make the crew essential workers and then give them to the vaccine. And as the cruise line return, they're going to be able to join because, of course, they're going to require vaccine.
Well, I was on the phone with one of our clients the other day, and they were saying that, unless you have the Johnson & Johnson, which is the one shot, but most of the vaccines out there are 2 shots, that if you get the first shot, and let's say you're scheduled to go before you get the second shot, be sure and let the office know so we can reschedule you until after that second shot. Right, that's real important, guys. So, there's going to be a lot of information that keeps coming out there. For example, if you look at Fort Lauderdale and Miami, we're like in the spring break capital of the world, right? And of course, so is California. But unfortunately, no one could go to California. And if you look at what was going on in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, I drove along the beach the other day, and it's just amazing. The bars are pumping, people are singing, people out dancing, the beaches. If you look at the video we have here, it was just packed. And it got to one point that they actually had to put a quarantine in place at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
But that's over now.
This part is, for example, this video is Miami Ocean Drive.
Right.
What they did, they blocked the one section of the road, like 2 or 3 blocks. The cars cannot pass, only people walking by. And actually, it was packed. We just collect a little of this footage so we can see that some people using masks, some people they're not using masks, some people is doing that agglomeration. I don't know if that's the proper word, agglomeration.
Well, I'm not sure.
Together, like people gatherings, people doing gatherings, like they're really close to each other.
Okay.
Agglomeration, no? No, maybe this is a Portuguese word, but it doesn't matter. Like it's gathering, people doing gathering, and of course,
congregation.
Yeah, congregation, but
that's in a church.
Gatherings is the same thing. So what happened is people want to have fun, people want to enjoy, they want entertainment, yes, but we know the risk of that. And spring break at that time, those people, they didn't have the vaccine schedule yet because usually it's young people that come from college between, let's put this way, 18 and 25.
But they're invincible, right? When you're of that age, you're like, nothing bothers me. The attitude of, and you know what? That may be an issue as well. If you look at yourself, and as we get older, we worry about, I might get sick. Do you bring that stuff on you? Because as a young person,
they believe
you're just going. You're invincible and you can do anything, right? But as you get older, it's like, I got to take this medicine. So that's food for thought.
When this happened, the vaccine was not for that age,
right?
So people start to get vaccine between 18 and 35, like 1 month ago. Only 1 month ago. So these people, they just went there because they believe they're healthy. They believe the COVID will not take them. And of course, if you have a better immunity, you have more chance against COVID. But who knows that? That's why we have to prevent. The CDC is there to help us to prevent. And that's why we are going back. When everything starts, how people was careful about it. People everywhere I used to go, I would have my alcohol.
Your hand cleaner.
Yeah, like my, so all the time. But right now, I don't have that. You can go to the supermarket, you can find a bunch of those. Before, it was out of sale.
In short supply, for sure.
Because everybody wanted, like masks, same thing. So today, as people start to get used to, they get confident and they let go.
Right.
So that's what happened.
More people are getting vaccinated, right? I believe, I don't know exactly what the percentage now of vaccination is in the United States, but it's high.
Yeah,
and that's also why we got some good stuff from the CDC coming later in the show. So don't go away, guys.
Don't go away.
Don't go away. Hang in there with us. We also we looked at in the past, because this is about kind of the past.
Okay. Hand cleaner.
Your hand cleaner. Go ahead and drink it. It's okay. No, we're talking about the past, right, where people were on airplanes. And as they sit on airplanes, they were just like bunched together, and
wow.
People with their mask on, people with their mask off, people singing, people doing all kinds of things, people checking into hotels, using, as we talked about earlier, the glass and this and that. So that's all in the past now. I think that, it's not completely in the past. We still have to be diligent, and watch what we do.
Yeah, when COVID hit us, in tool industry was heavily affected. One is steel, which is the cruise industry, and the other one was the airplanes, the aircraft. So, and that I remember that American Airlines was struggling a lot. Delta, some companies run out of business, and they were pushing because actually people was being recommended to not travel, not go from here to New York, or change states, things like that. But it didn't take much. I think in June, July, the airline start to
pick it up again.
And I flew from here to I think I went to
Brazil.
No, I went to Colorado. Okay. I went to Colorado, to Aspen, and it's 4 hours from Miami to Colorado. Mm-hmm. And what happened is 4 hours. I have someone right beside me. The plane was packed, and of course I took a picture, I posted, and I was wondering why they allow this and they don't allow the cruise line, where people gonna be on the balcony, people gonna be like just with their family into their own cabin.
Yeah, I did a little investigation on that, and I kind of understand why now. Is that on a plane, you're there for 1 or 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe
4 hours,
right? And on a ship, you're there 7 days, mostly 7 days. So if I'm an infected person and I'm walking around, and a ship is a big floating container, right? And in that container, I will reach many people during my travels, whether I go on the deck, the pool, I go eat, I go to get some food off of the buffet, whatever. And I've been on ships, right? And people, unfortunately, are not always the cleanest, right? I've seen people reach their hands into the buffet and grab something and taste it, right? So if you're contained in that certain area for 7 days, your chance of spreading is much higher than me sitting next to you on a plane for 4 hours. Because now I've got not only how many hours, 120 hours or whatever it is on a 7-day cruise, a lot.
Okay,
So
let's have two sides here. I have a couple questions for you.
All right.
Okay, so let's say I'm going to be with you on the airplane for 4 hours.
Right.
Let's use my own experience for 4 hours. You don't know who I am. You don't know where I came from. Correct? The
Same as a
way
ship,
as a
yeah,
ship. Okay,
right.
even. But when I join in the airplane, I didn't take any test, so you don't know the status of my health. But when you join the ship, you're going to have your PCR test done.
But see, this was before. I mean, they've only been talking about the test, let's say the last month or so.
No, the PCR test took place right in the beginning. That's why Europe is already working. The Europe already has.
That's true.
Has been traveling passengers over 400,000,
yeah.
500,000 passengers without no case. So I'm going to be in the airplane with someone that I don't know, that haven't taken any test. I don't know his health. But you are going to be at the ship with someone who has done your PCR test. This is one point. I'm going to be 4 hours right beside you. And if I cross you, if you cross me on the ship, it's just going to be maybe 4 seconds, 10 minutes. Why? Because
it
the
only
ship
takes 1 second.
Because ship is too big, a lot of winding. You're gonna have your own private cabin with your family, whatever, with people that you guys are like a bubble, right? You have your own family there. But myself, no, I don't want to be beside someone, even using my mask, if that person has any disease.
But see, that's a choice we make, right? A lot of people will say that air travel is necessary, right? And a lot of people go business, right? They say it's necessary, or I have to go see my mother, my father, my friends, my family.
That's a reasonable point.
So
okay.
I take that risk, right? But on a ship, I don't have to take the risk. It's leisure. And here's another thing to think about. Cruise lines are not U.S. corporations, right? So for you or me, I have to take care of my family first before I take care of someone who is outside my family.
But they provide entertainment for the Americans.
The CDC, forget entertainment, right? The CDC is to protect Americans first. That's the attitude, right? They're part of the U.S. government. So their thought is first, let me take care of my people, which now we have millions and millions of people, and thank God our shots are going really well, right? Let me take care of those, then let me worry about this. But that's why we've got some great news coming up a little bit later.
But for example, if you go into the NCL website, you can see all the protocols that they have put together in order to protect the crew.
Oh, I'm 100% for it.
They have put
the
together.
Safety sail panel has done some amazing things
in order to protect the guests.
Right.
And also the offshore excursion, like people who want to go to islands or small places. They have done so many things. And when you talk about essential things like, oh, people have to travel because they might have to see the parents, whatever. So you don't have to go to a restaurant. You don't have. It's not a must.
Right.
A restaurant is entertainment as well. Same as a ship. I want to go to a ship because I want to entertain myself. I'm going to a restaurant because I want to entertain myself. Because
a lot of it is personal choice.
If it's only about essential, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm going to buy my food and I'm going to cook at home.
But even at the grocery store, do you know how many people have walked in and touched the food, the packages?
Yeah, but that is essential. Like you have to buy your grocery and then bring home. But what I see here is like, okay, I get some points. The cruise line should be reopening like way time ago.
I agree.
At least a year ago. We are happy that every day the light get brighter and brighter, which is good for us. But it's supposed to be starting a long time ago. Why? Because at this time right now, we're supposed to be much better, like handling, knowing things that we have to change and adjust.
Right.
Even they start today, in 1 year from now, it's gonna be some adjustment. You know, it probably going to be some, but we are behind because they are taking long time for us to say, okay, guys, you guys can go ahead and do it.
But you know, it's even the cruise line says, you know, we want to start when it's right, even though they've been, you know, in many people's eyes mistreated and that sort of thing. Again, I go back to the CDC as an American government institution that says, I believe now my family's in order. We've got herd immunity coming up. A lot of people have got my shots. Now let me go next. And again, all those movie theaters, all those airlines happen to be American corporations, so they look at them first, right? And that's why certain states have opened up, and like we say, Florida, Texas, right?
And I can go even deep, like if everything starts in your house.
Absolutely.
In your home, in your apartment. So before you get on the ship, you go to a grocery store, you go to a gym, you go to a restaurant, you go to a bar. And then if you get infected on one of those, and then you end up going to the ship, we have a lot of restriction and limitation that they have put together. Like, it must you take your vaccine, they want to require that, PCR test and all the kind of things. You arrive here after you've been to all these places.
All right.
So how you want to, like, this is the last place you're going to be. Like, you have been exposed to a barber, to a bunch of places, your work environment. And then you go to the ship on the last option of your day, of your vacation, whatever. And then when you get there, oh no, you cannot go there because that is the point where you might get something from. No, I'm sorry. You might get something from this first possibilities here. Your house, your gym, your work environment. All those things are much more susceptible. I don't know if that's the word.
Susceptible
to get something.
Right.
From. Right.
The
ship is the latest one, and actually the ship is going to maybe find out that you get something because they're gonna
before you even get on board.
To do a PCR test.
Can you imagine doing a PCR test before you went to the grocery store?
Yeah.
Before you walked in,
everything would be closed. You know.
All right. Let's get off.
But we already proved. Actually, we don't have even to go on and on because if you guys see the big picture, of course they are ready and they have done much better than any other business.
Right. All right. Let's move on and talk about something else here.
Before we move on, I haven't asked them. So if you guys are new here, please go ahead, subscribe on our channel. We have over 5,000 followers. Don't forget to hit the bell notification every time when we go live or we post a new video. You guys are going to be updated in first hand.
You know, a lot of people have been waiting for Virgin Voyages to restart. We have a little collection here we want you to watch, guys. Very, very important. And we're going to talk about it right after this. So check this out. Really, really like this Maritime Challenge this year. We have got so many people that are going to be entered in that. That's good stuff. And in the Virgin video, let me say thank you to Mr. Henrique from Brazil who put that together. And I also big shout out every time to Mr. Odie of all the work these guys do. So when you see graphics, these are coming from our guys. I mean, I love them to death, and thank you guys so much for that hard work.
But what a great company this Virgin. If I want to work on a ship one day, I would like to work for this company. It's like they have the authority and the power to build that curiosity in your brain and make you like, what could become your career if you come work with us.
Right.
And I've been to the event when they was launching and kind of educating the culture to which agents for everybody around the world. Then they went to Asia to do the recruiting for the Scarlet Lady, and now they're coming back for the Violent Lady. Unfortunately, they have been hit right at the beginning, right when they launched the new ship.
Poor guys.
COVID came, but I think the instruction and the purpose that was built before Virgin came across was so strong that they're waiting. I don't think nobody's recruiting new hires right now.
We're getting ready to.
Yeah.
Starting next week, we will have a list. Even though our offices now are looking for people, we've got a request, and it's kind of this small request, so we're going to ease into it. But next week, you're going to see some major advertising coming from CTI. So it is so important, guys, I can't say this enough, that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell, because if you want to work for Virgin or Carnival or anybody else, you will be the first to know. So go ahead and subscribe, right?
And for you guys that if you are a student or if you are someone that would like to work for a company like Virgin, understand a company like that to provide you amazing job, a career path, you must have some experience. It's not like, oh, I want. You have to prepare yourself. If you're in the school right now, make sure you improve your English, make sure you understand which department are you going to work to. Study, master your skills in order so when you have the possibility to be in front of the user and be interviewed, be able to sell yourself very professional and deliver everything that you know or everything that you can learn with them, because people evaluate a lot about potential. Sometimes you're not good right now, but you have a lot of potential.
But here's what we also need to say to those people, right, is that the way YouTube judges what we do is the likes, right?
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So everybody out there, like what they call smash the like button as many times as you can.
When someone got destroyed the like button.
Because that's how they rate our channel, right? And of course, so we appreciate the hearts and this and that, but it's the smashing the like button, thumbs up button, right?
Yes. You have to smash the like button just in order to tell the algorithm of the YouTube that you like this content, you like this live, and then more people are going to receive as well. But keep in mind, guys, working for a company like Virgin, like Region 7 Seas, or any other luxury cruise line, you must have experience. Look for the 5-star hotel experience. Even if in the beginning you're not going to make much money, because actually you're not trading your time for money back that time. You're going to trade your time for experience, for exposure. And then when you get the opportunity to go for a company to also improve your career but also make money, you're going to be ready to talk naturally without just say, oh, I want, I'm the rock star. This is not about emotion. Of course, your personality, your charisma, it counts, but it's not everything. It's all together.
Knowledge
right?
as well,
yeah,
of course. It's a package.
So make sure that while you're young, while you have the opportunity right now, go ahead and get the right experience. Don't trade your time when you start your career only for money.
You know, one of the things we're launching, and we're doing our soft launch at the moment, is our Go Video, right? And some people will be receiving a link. It is a video interviewing system. It's a soft launch for those in Asia who know what a soft launch is. When a major hotel opens up, before they really go all out, right, they do a soft launch. So they just let kind of people in, see what's going on, see what they need to fix, and we're launching our Go Video program. If you have gotten a link, be sure and fill that out. One of the things about interviewing is so important as well. If you're applying, whether it be Virgin or Carnival or NCL, search about the company. Because when you talk, you want to say, you know what, I've done some research on your company and I know this about you and this about you and this about you, because that's the recruiter sitting on the other side is going to be looking at you and say,
of course,
what do you know about me, right? Why should I pick you to work for me? So do your research, guys. We're also going to be sending out some information which we received on how to give a great interview. So we'll have that for everybody.
Yeah, for my 3 years experience here, work at CTI, I've interviewed I can say thousands of people.
Yes, for
thousands
sure.
of people.
For sure.
And I saw people with a lot of experience, with good experience and knowledge, but they don't know how to sell themselves. When they go to a interview, they think that they have to memorize some words and just go there and say that word no matter what.
But stand in front of a mirror and practice, practice. Because remember, when you do the video interview, that is you talking to the recruiter, right? And if you're like, oh, well, I did this, go home and practice. Like, I've done this, and this is my job, and this is what I do at my job, and I know this kind of product that I do in my job. Be confident.
Yeah, also look for the guidance. That's why we are here. CTI are here because we want to understand how you present yourself. We have experienced sometimes we present amazing candidates that we believe that amazing, have a good background, good experience to clients, and at the very end that guy is declined or that guy is offered a lower position, and then we kind of wonder why. But right now, because of this program CTI Go Video, we can watch the whole interview. You check the resume, the person, it's amazing. But you check that person talking, it's completely different because the person doesn't know how to sell themselves, how to highlight the key skills they have and talk about it and show enthusiasm and show passion. When you talk about something that happened in your life and literally help you become a better professional, your eyes have to talk together, your smile have to talk together. You cannot say, I worked for CTI for 3 years, I went to Asia, interview a lot of people. My brain have to go back there and I have to bring the emotion to my words as people talk and see me.
Right.
So you have to connect with the user, you have to connect. So we're gonna guide you guys, but understand, even for you that already have a good job, even for you that already work for Carnival, for any other, the Apollo cruise,
right,
work with Apollo, you might have to do your video in order for us to review and then help you to make a better video resume.
And those places where we have offices, they're going to start getting involved in this as well. And, at some point, we're going to be able to go into the offices and we're going to have video rooms where they can sit down and put you in front of a good screen, in front of a good camera. But the thing to do is not to feel like you're rehearsed, like, hello, my name. You got to sound natural. It's got to be natural. One of the things, and we have crew all over the world, by the way, but, I think the majority of our crew, everybody knows, is in Indonesia. We're expanding into Brazil and so many other places. But NCL has gotten together with some of its crew. And this next gentleman comes from Indonesia. His name is Sigit Widodo, right? And this is his first contract. This video, I want everybody to watch this. This is great. You can see what a person who has ambition, who started off on his first contract, and look where he's gone. This is a great video. Let's have a look at it.
My name is Sigit Widodo. I am from Indonesia. This is my first contract with Norwegian Cruise Line, and this is my first ship in my life. I was bar utility in Norwegian Sun because I signed on February 27th. I faced to the guests for 2 weeks only, and then at that time on March 14, everything was locked down. And they sent home 650 crew members, and I was the last man standing for bar department. I was the only one. I did barista job, I did bartender's job, but it was good because I can learn by doing. During pandemic, it was very hard for me because I'm far away from my family, but luckily, I had a lot of friends. I can say that they are my second family. My first daughter is 3 years old, and my second daughter. Now she is 14 months old. Finally, I got a replacement.
Enjoy vacation with your family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Wish you all the best back at home and safe flight.
Before I leave, I said goodbye to everyone. This is an unforgettable experience for me. Hi guys, I'm ready to go home. And then my family picked me up in Yogyakarta airport. Finally, when my first daughter, she showed me, she just standing like this, and is it my papa? Is she my father? Maybe. My wife was crying at that time. Maybe she thinks, who is this guy? Why he is here? But now, we can play together. I'm looking forward to work with Norwegian Cruise Line in the future, and we make another story, not this pandemic story.
You know, I have to say, I love that story. Mr. Sigit Widodo, you know, he's with NCL. And again, thanks to NCL for putting that together. They've also done some other crew interviews, which we will bring shortly and on some other shows. But what a great, great show. So for all those in Indonesia, if you dream to go to the ship, as he said, this is his first ship. And you see how he took that step when the pandemic hit. Everybody else was sent home, but they kept him. So you say, why did they keep him? Because he went above and beyond. He was, you know, everybody else like, I want to go home, I want to go home. And he was the one who said, I will stay and ride this out. So congratulations to him, right? These are the kind of people that cruise lines look for. You know, if you go to the ship and, oh, why me, poor me, you know, you're the first to go home. But those who are leaders, and he's obviously a leader, so congratulations to him. Congratulations to CTI or NCL for putting that video together. And CTI bringing it to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, good stuff, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of good people, you know, good crew and good stories around the world. That's why we always tell you guys to share your story with us. You can do that through the Maritime Challenge 2021. A video like that, it's things that we're looking for as a storyteller. You can tell your story. Maybe nobody has given you the opportunity as he got the opportunity through NCL. You can put your video together. You can ask
you don't have to
someone
have a big production team,
of course,
right?
And then you can submit to us, and we're gonna pass your video here. We're gonna show your video to the world. It's a time to celebrate because we are getting very, very close to see the big bright light and then see, oh, go. Just
the
go.
bright light is here. Wait till the end of the show, right? Some great information. But we've also got, you know, we hear from Marcos, who is our the representative for Apollo here at CTI, and he's telling us about Marella crew. And, you know, you always wonder, you know, where do these people work? What kind of ship they work on, right? Marella's not a big company here in the U.S., but overseas it is. It's a British company. So have a look, and just we're going to give you a little education about Marella, and then we're going to talk to the Marella crew. And now you know a little bit more about Marella. We have over 200 crew in the next couple months that are getting ready to go back to Marella. If you haven't contacted the agency yet, by all means, get to it, guys, because they're going to be moving. They're talking about the vaccinations, getting their visas to join in the UK. I know Marcos has been pushing, and along with all the offices over there, reaching out. If you're a Marella crew member, by all means, first thing tomorrow morning or first thing Monday morning your time, get in touch with the offices because we're moving a lot of crew there.
Yeah, that's true. And also, guys, for those people that already work with any one of the Apollo ships, if you guys already have your documents ready, like your C1G visa, maybe
and
your
Carnival,
medicals ready,
everybody else,
please contact
visas.
the office because it's a lot of movement going on right now, and your position might be request, and then we can arrange everything for you to return to the ship as soon as possible.
You know, I do a meeting every week with Carnival, you know, the recruiting team. The first thing they ask, how many people have visas? Right. And right now, I believe we're close to 4,000 who have visas, but, you know, they have 11,000 crew in Indonesia. So we're saying, okay, so where are the rest of the guys? Guys, have you met with the office? Have you scheduled your visa? Have you talked to the office and let them know? Because as we do our meetings, the first thing again, who all has C1D visas? How many people are being vaccinated?
And if you guys remember, we've been talking all the time, a long time ago, go do your documentation. Now, for those who has documentation, they are going first.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Don't sit there and cry, why me, when you haven't got your documents done.
Yes.
You know, new information from the CDC, which everybody has been talking about. Actually, they released it on Thursday. So, of course, it's Friday. So imagine all rushing, putting this information together, getting it together. We have Royal, who plans now a July startup. They have got some very positive information. And actually, we had, this is, again, what I love about our guys who work here, and the guys and the girls and everybody else. I thank you so much for what you do. We reached out to Odie overnight, and we just said to him, hey, by the way, Odie, can you put this quick little video together that we're able to show our audience, right? And I have to say, the man came through. The man came through. He is right on top of this. And I think our video is all about the new CDC regulations.
It's not there yet, the video.
No?
No.
Okay. Well, let's talk about them then. We can talk about them. All right. We also, before we get into all of them, though, we also have a very happy birthday going out to Holland America. And Holland America is 100, let me make sure I get this right. Look here, it is 148 years old. Can you imagine? Could you be 148?
Oh, I'm just 150. It depends. If you count every year as a 3 months, I'm 150.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're 148 years old, and thanks to our friends down at Porthole Magazine, because they've gotten together and they did an interview with the president, Mr. Bill Panoff, who is their chief editor, called Mr. Gus Antrada. I hope I got that right. He is the president of Holland America Line, and we have that video for you guys.
Bill Panoff here with Porthole Cruise Magazine. Holland America is one of the oldest cruise lines, having celebrated just 148 years in the business. Joining us today to talk about what's next for Holland America is the president of the cruise line, Gus Ortocha. Gus, great to have you back once again.
Thank you, Bill. Pleasure to be here.
148 years, that's quite a milestone. How did Holland America, the team, celebrate the anniversary? And do you have something special planned once cruising resumes?
148 years is quite an achievement. There are very few companies, certainly in the cruise space, no one's had that type of longevity. We did events, small little gatherings, appropriately physically distant on board our ships. I was actually on board one of our ships as well. I visited New Statendam in Port Everglades. So I spent some time with the team and looked over the ship. So we did a small, internal recognition of that achievement. I'd love nothing more than be able to celebrate it on board. And if we resume cruising here shortly, we will have some, special events over dinners or ways to recognize that achievement.
Holland also just recently announced something very interesting, that the Have It All premium package. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Sure. Well, look, I'm new in the role, and as part of that, as anyone that would be new in a senior role like mine, we're looking at all aspects of the business. Many companies are taking the opportunity to do this, and we've taken the pause in operation to relook at what we do, how we do it, how we can improve. And I've spoken to a lot of the different stakeholders, our team members, our trade partners, and then guests. I had calls all over the world because Holland guests we source a lot of international guests as well as U.S. guests, and I listen to feedback, and this came out as one of the stronger asks from particularly from our past guests as well as the trade. And I think the segment we're in, luxury premium, has moved towards more all-inclusive. Sure. And we've done aspects of this promotionally, but the feedback was it'd be good to have something that's evergreen, something that's out there based on what guests ask. So there are some differences versus what others do. And we listen to the feedback, and we were excited about making this change.
Does the Have It All package also include specialty dining?
It does. It includes shore excursions, which is a distinguishing factor. Sure. Versus what some of the other all-inclusive like packages that you see out there. And that was not surprising. That was the highest rated or the most asked for feature. So we wanted to make sure and include that. It has the beverage package. It has specialty dining at any of we have multiple dining restaurants, and it has Wi-Fi. And those were in that order, actually, what the guests asked for.
Do you feel that the all-inclusive will be like a primary deciding factor for guests when choosing their next cruise now?
I think it's an important element to have as part of the offering. Right. We felt, and not all the cruise lines have done this, but we felt it was important to have choice. And so we kept the standard fare as well as an all-inclusive fare. And so, different guests will make the choices that are right for them, but we felt choice was important. So we kept choices. We do expect, given the research, for this to be very appealing, and I wouldn't be surprised for a majority of the guests to choose this option.
Wow. What are your thoughts, Gus, on the CDC updated conditional sail order, and do you think that the Holland will be able to resume from the U.S. by late summer?
I think there's been a lot said about the CDC's latest order, which I won't get into. There was an article very recently in USA Today, and I think the industry is working hard as an industry to try to get further clarification from the CDC so that we're able to restart in the US. I think at the moment, given the direction, it's not feasible. And so that's why you see a lot of engagement recently with the support of, I must say that the congressional delegations as well as gubernatorial support has been critical for the industry. In Florida in particular, Alaska and Texas have all been tremendous partners to the industry. But there's still a lot of work, and there's still not a clear path to restart in the US. We're optimistic. I think there's been significant engagement from the industry, the administration, and the regulators to find a way for us to restart. We're optimistic. We'd like to operate. For us, it would mean operating in Alaska, which, we've been in Alaska 70 plus years. So we feel very much part of those communities, and we're watching the impact this is having on those communities, and it's absolutely terrible. I mean, it's terrible. You might have heard we're opening up our lodges so that we provide some level of tourism to
fantastic.
So right now we don't know. We're optimistic. We think we'll get to something. We'd like to operate the Seattle round trips that we have planned for the summer, but we're not sure. In parallel, we are looking and planning on how we restart outside of the U.S. I think every cruise line is doing that, honestly, and you've seen some. Most recently, the announcement of Seabourn last week or earlier this week, I forget now.
Right.
And so we're also evaluating restarts outside of the U.S.
Have you made any decisions, or any decisions been made regarding the requirements to sail, whether vaccinated or not, for Holland guests?
So I think that'll depend. We always have to be in compliance. In the initial stages of the restart, it may vary by geography. And so we may have slightly different rules, procedures based on what those countries. So, if we restart in Greece versus the Caribbean versus the US, they might vary. And so, you could see what Seabourn's doing. Their intent is to vaccinate all the crew and to operate, at least initially, vaccinated ships, guest vaccinated ships. So that's because that's what those countries required, and we have to remain in compliance, obviously. So it'll vary. It's not a very clear answer because right now nothing's particularly clear.
Yeah, got it. The new Dam will be the first Pinnacle class ship to sail to New England and Canada. What makes that part of the country so appealing for cruising, in your opinion?
It's interesting as I've come up to speed on the brand and one of the distinguishing factors of this brand is the breadth of itineraries and ports we visit. It's not the largest cruise line, but the amount of ports we visit is quite amazing. Sure. And one of the niche kind of areas that we really distinguish ourselves in as a brand is Canada and New England. And there's a very loyal following of guests that really enjoy cruising in the Northeast. We've added longer voyages. As you know, that's a hallmark of the brand. We've added longer voyages. We call Voyage of the Vikings. So they make their way over, Iceland and parts of Europe. It's 30+ day voyages. Those sell out very quickly. And so it's a particular geography that over the years the brand's really distinguished itself in and has a very loyal following of guests.
Got it. Gus, I appreciate your time and thanks for the update. And before you know it, we'll be out there sailing with you on Holland America Line. Gus Artocia, president of Holland America Line. Thank you so much and happy cruising.
All right, guys, what a great interview. Of course, for those who work for Holland America Line, there's your president, Mr. Gus Artocia, right? And also Bill Panoff from, I was going to say Cruise Industry News. That's another great magazine, but Mr. Bill Panoff is Porthole Magazine. So congratulations and thank you so much for that interview. That also goes out to, CTI does Holland America Line in Thailand. So big shout out to all of our Holland America crew out there in Thailand.
And right? Of course, if you want to work for Holland American, make sure you go to our website, right? And then you can register to that, and we can forward you to our CTI Thailand office.
Right, so, if you're in Thailand, right? If you're in Indonesia, they have a different agency, Thailand. Right? Only for Thailand here, right? But if you're working for Holland America Line in Indonesia, be sure and go to your agent locally there. All right, so we're back to the CDC and what has come up. So let me go back and again thank Mr. Odie for this. This is that the possibility of cruise restart in America 2021 in July, which is just down the road. So what does that mean for crew members? If your document's not ready, I hope it's not too late for you, right? This is some good stuff. All right, let's watch this, guys.
Hello and welcome to CTI Group's channel. On April 28th, the CDC sent a letter to the cruise industry on the possibility of cruises restarting in U.S. waters by mid-July. It was a pleasant message for the cruise lines to receive, and within it were some updated requirements for sailing to resume. We will be counting down those expectations that cruise lines must uphold. The guidelines for passengers who might be exposed to the virus have been cleared up. Local passengers might have the option to drive home to quarantine, and passengers who traveled may be able to quarantine in a hotel. Ship operators could be allowed to have multi-port agreements instead of having single-port agreements. The CDC will update their guidelines and requirements for testing and quarantining for people who are fully vaccinated. This could mean that instead of needing a PCR test before boarding, a vaccinated passenger may just have to take a rapid antigen test. It will now only take the CDC 5 days to respond to a cruise line's application for a test voyage, which was originally expected to take 60 days. Finally, one of the biggest updates is that a ship may be able to skip a simulated test voyages if at least 98% of crew and 95% of passengers are fully vaccinated. This was some good news for the cruise industry as a whole. It looks like we are one step closer to restarting in the US. Richard Fain, Chairman and CEO of Royal Caribbean Group, and Michael Bailey, President and CEO of Royal Caribbean International, have both made statements online about the news with a positive outlook for cruising in the near future. What is your response to hearing this latest update? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be updated whenever we release new content. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.
Guys, there you have it, the top 5, and just, you know, the most important one, of course, it counts down to number 1, that we may be able to skip the test sailings.
So as more difficult it gets, you know,
right,
more excited people become, like, because they can't wait to go back to the ship. Not only you guys as a crew, but also the guests. A lot of people are buying.
I'm telling you, they're just ready to go back. You know, one of the things they say, as long as the paying passengers, 98% of the crew members must have vaccines, must be vaccinated, right? And 95% of the passengers who get on board.
Probably this is gonna happen.
That's easy because, you know, we've got Royal Caribbean already requiring vaccines, and in a lot of places that they're sailing.
NCL as well.
NCL is requiring it. Carnival is, now that this has come out, I'm sure we'll hear another announcement coming from Carnival in the not-so-distant future. So, guys, please pay attention. Again, subscribe. Let us know so we can let you know as it's breaking news. You know, we'll take care of you.
And also, if you're a crew member from Indonesia, if you haven't taken your vaccine yet, please contact the office, because they can also help you out. They're helping you out to get your vaccine done.
You know, the Seafarers Association are in contact with the offices, and the offices, of course, are in contact with the crew members. And what we're doing is, you know, there are certain cruise lines will say, are these people vaccinated? Are they not vaccinated? Do they have both shots? How long ago was it? So, again, that information is extremely important. Even though you may send it to the cruise lines, and, of course, that's up to you, but they'll usually come to us and say, give us a list of people. So your name needs to be on that list.
That's it.
You know, guys, we've come to the end of our show. A big shout out to everybody out there. I see some people from OTC, CTI Bali, you know, people in Myanmar. I saw some people from Myanmar out there, some Vietnam. Thanks to my niece Tracy out there, who's always in. She's always here with Jennifer, my sister Judy. You know, I just love saying this, right? And I have to say it. Even my Aunt Judy and Luther, everybody's out there. It's not only my family, because there's actually, you know, when we look at this, there's thousands of people who watch. So if you're joining us from LinkedIn, if you're joining us from Facebook, if you're joining us from YouTube,
just connect us right now and subscribe to our channel.
Right? Anyway, guys, we thank you for being here. It's been a good show today. Lots of great information. Next week, we'll be here at the same time, and I assure you there will be a lot more news coming next week. So hang in there. Be safe. God bless everyone. Have a great weekend. And they now can go hug someone.
Yeah, go find someone to hug.
There you go. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for being with us.